Thank you very much for your participation. This is the second part of UN Staff Day 2016. 2016 UN Secretary-General Award Ceremony. Secretary-General, Mrs. Van, and the CDC and their colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. This is a tradition that the Secretary-General has been organizing every year on occasion of UN Staff Day, UN Day. And this year we have the lot of applications. This award celebrates exemplary achievement by our colleagues in UN Secretariat. We are honored very much by the presence of Secretary-General today to present the award personally and acknowledge the finalists for their achievement, dedication, and drive. Together with the staff members present in New York, we are connected with video conferences from Berlin, Geneva, Nairobi, Vienna, and other locations. I also like to extend a welcome to all our colleagues, friends who are following this ceremony on webcast. A warm greeting to all of you. Dear colleagues, the nominations received this year were remarkable. I'm truly humbled by dedication and commitment of our staff to continuously better the United Nations and the world we serve. And I take this opportunity to congratulate all the finalists. As we will see shortly, your efforts are inspiring. We can all be rightly proud of your accomplishment and the fact that you are here today as finalists. Many of us sitting here and some are overseas. So now I'd like to invite Secretary-General to grace this ceremony.
Thank you, USG Takasu. Distinguished colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be with you today to continue our celebration of UN Staff Day. It is very meaningful that we have this award ceremony day combined with this UN Staff Day. It is once again my great pleasure to celebrate and the finalists of this year's United Nations Secretary-General Awards. Congratulating the winners and thanking all the finalists for what they have done for our organization above and beyond the call of duty is a pleasure and a great honor. United Nations staff members are the organization's most important and precious resource. Your hard work and dedication enable the United Nations to help people all over the world. You embody passion and compassion. You help provide the peace, dignity, and hope. I'm proud to be your colleague. This year, the awards are presented in 4 categories: collegiality, courage, greeting, and managing change. Greening and managing change. Almost 100 nominations were submitted. Each exemplifies commitments to our charter. The remarkable projects that made the short list are truly inspiring. All deserve to be honored. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask all the finalists to stand either in this chamber or in the missions to be recognized by all of us? Finalists. Thank you very much. There are so many finalists. I know that you have been working as a team, so this is many teams are now on the finalists. let's wait for a few minutes. Again, I commend you once again for your initiative and a strong commitment. Your achievements are inspiring to us all. As I prepare to bid farewell to this great organization that I have served with pride and honor for the past decade, I do so knowing that it is in safe hands, in your hands. Please continue to promote the better working conditions with your ingenuity and the creative ideas. The even small things, very creative one, will help all of us, all this organization, not only make your work more profitable, enjoyable, and honorable, but it is the way to meet the expectations of our member state and many people. And I have been very much impressed by all your good ideas, creative ideas, which have been helping this organization improve the working method. Again, I'd like to congratulate to all the finalists and the award winners. Thank you very much. Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary-General. Let me share with you how the winners are selected in the process. This year, as Secretary-General mentioned, we have 4 categories of outstanding achievement. Collegiality means we are honoring individual or group member people for positive and productive work environment that allows everyone to do their best on behalf of United Nations. Second category is greening the United Nations. We're honoring individual staff member or group of team or members, ensuring that United Nations act in an environmentally responsible and sustainable way. Third one is courage. We're honoring individual staff members or team for accomplishing their tasks and upholding values of the United Nations in a physically dangerous, demanding environment. Fourthly, managing change. We're honoring an individual staff member or a team being especially adept in implementing transformational initiatives and changes with the goal of creating more efficient and truly global organization. So as the Secretary-General said, individuals and teams were nominated by their peers for their exceptional work and received almost 100 nominations from across the world. To select finalists and then ultimate winner was the responsibility of panel of group of people. 26 our colleagues from 14 department offices in the world, Addis Ababa, Baghdad, Beirut, Geneva, Nairobi, New York, and Port-au-Prince. They all participated in the process to evaluating their substance, impact, and merit of their applications. So highest scoring nomination comprised a final list of finalists in each category. The results were compiled and aggregated, identifying highest rated nomination each category. So that 5 finalists were identified for each category: collegiality, greening UN, courage. Remarkably, more than half of nominations received this year were for managing change category. And so we decided to include 6 finalists in this category. And also, there are so many good nominations. And then panel had difficulty selecting. Secretary-General in some category. Secretary-General also presents so-called honorable mentions to finalists in addition to winners in 2 categories, managing change and courage, whose achievement merits special recognition in addition to the winners in these categories. So following this the review, shortlist was submitted to Secretary-General for final selection. And then this announcement we made this morning. So I'd like to take a moment to thank evaluators and the team of panelists who did very thoughtful, careful assessment and time they put in reviewing the project. So perhaps may I ask those members of the evaluation team who contributed here in New York and also abroad to please stand for a round of applause. Thank you very much for your contribution. We'd like to let you know that in honor of their accomplishment, today's winners will receive certificate for hands from Secretary-General and an UNSG Award plaque and copy of UN Charter signed by Secretary-General. And there are some other additional things this year, a decorative SG Award pen and then this set, and also a copy of the book, United Nations at 70, Restorations and Renewal. So before we begin a presentation of each category, I'd like to mention again how fortunate we have. So many of these colleagues have been nominated for finalists for incredible achievement. So may I now ask your attention to the screen for video in the first category of finalists, category of collegiality, please.
Collegiality, honoring an individual staff member for creating a positive and productive work environment that allows everyone to do their best on behalf of the United Nations.
Mr. Mark Anthony. Mark makes his colleagues at headquarters feel like they are part of a community. He maintains a mailing list promoting events, housing, and activities, especially around sports and recreation, and takes great care to connect colleagues with each other and to create social networks. Mark also founded and leads the United Nations Athletics Club in New York. He knows how to make his colleagues sweat. And in a mailroom at headquarters where he works, they say that teams that soar together also sport together.
Mr. Guy Canduso. For over 15 years, Guy has organized brown bag workshops at headquarters, preparing staff members for the G2P exam. He solicited the support of senior professionals to speak at the workshops and provided training materials to colleagues preparing for the exam at other duty stations. Guy worked for OHRM before recently retiring.
Mr. Alexei Golovko. Based in Vienna, Alexei prepared, trained, and supported DGACM's contractual translation unit through a successful transition to a database of external contractual translators for New York, Vienna, Geneva, and Nairobi. His colleagues readily praise his commitment and state that without Alexei's encouraging presence, they could not have done it. Mr. Noludole Mataitini. As Chief Security Advisor for Darfur in Sudan, Matt is well known for his warm and encouraging managerial style, in spite of a tough working environment. He makes sure that his staff receives the recognition they deserve, the training they need, and are assigned to redeployments which are critical for their career development. The success of UN security in Darfur is supported by the positive and productive work environment created by Matt.
Mr. Yusufa Nyang. Yusufa is a regional ombudsman based in Goma. He has developed a remarkable team-building program that allows teams and team members to better implement their mandates by recognizing and building on their strengths. Yusufa also goes where he is needed the most. He regularly travels to field locations in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Mali, providing valuable services to staff members who are working in challenging and hostile environments.
So I'm delighted to announce the winner of 2016 Secretary-General's Award for the category of collegiality, Mr. Matt Mataitini. Congratulations.
you now. Perfect.
Yes. Indeed, congratulations to Matt. We move on now, second category, greening the United Nations. Let us have a look at again the finalists in category in the video, please.
Greening the UN, honoring an individual staff member or a team for ensuring that the United Nations acts in an environmentally responsible and sustainable manner. The Sustainable United Nations team. This team, based at UNEP, together with their sustainability focal points across the UN, has structurally and measurably transformed the environmental performance of the UN Secretariat and the wider UN system. By working with staff at all levels of the organization, from sustainability focal points and green champions in remote duty stations to the members of the UN Chief Executive Board, the initiative has succeeded in creating an enthusiastic attitude for greening the blue.
The ozone-friendly UN Bangkok. This SCAP-based team led the project for the replacement of ozone-depleting substances from the air conditioning and refrigeration systems at the UN offices in Bangkok. Serving as a model of sustainable building management in the region, they also made air conditioning of the UN offices significantly more energy efficient. The UN climate change campaign Angry Birds, Happy Planet. This team from DPI in New York mounted the Angry Birds for a Happy Planet communication campaign in support of the UN International Day of Happiness to call for urgent action on climate change. The campaign reached more than 740 million users on Twitter and 9 million on Snapchat in 193 countries and at more than 100 UN entities. And the birds are smiling.
The UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, Greening and Accessibility Team. Based in Geneva, this team initiated, delivered, and set a new standard for green conferences with the third UN World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction in 2015 in Sendai, Japan. They achieved their goal through initiatives such as electronically accessible conference documents that made paper obsolete and a reward system for carbon offsets of travel.
The Environmental Protection Unit of UNAMID. This team is based in El Fasher, where it installed 125 wastewater treatment plants throughout the UNAMID camps to increase water security. The treated wastewater was used for non-potable needs and for watering the many trees the mission planted.
The winner of 2016 Greening the United Nations category is Sustainable United Nations team. Congratulations. While these team members are participating from Rome, but we're fortunate to have two colleagues who participate in this sustainable team, Mr. Jensen, and then Mrs. Jensen, and then Laguna, for accept award on this behalf. Please. So now we move to another category, so-called courage. So let's listen to the finalist again.
Courage, honoring an individual staff member or a team for accomplishing their tasks and upholding the values of the United Nations in a physically dangerous environment. UN Mine Action Service Gaza. Mark Frankish and George Tan worked to clear deeply buried bombs in densely populated areas throughout the Gaza Strip. They have cleared nearly 100 bombs since 2014. It is thanks to their nerves of steel that reconstruction and development can take place in Gaza. This team's hard work allows local communities to carry on with their lives free from explosive remnants of war.
The Close Protection Unit, Iraq. The Close Protection Unit has been crucial to the UN's continued operations in Iraq. The unit has conducted over 300 medium and high-risk missions for UN personnel every month, in addition to 10 very high-risk missions per year in an ever-fluid, insecure, and threatening environment. Mr. Hyun Kim. Hyun Kim of DPA opened ANSOM's new regional office in Beledweyne, Somalia, a high-danger duty station threatened by Al-Shabaab. Hyun's work coincided with a sharp escalation in inter-clan tensions, to which he responded with exemplary courage, as well as excellent judgment and advice to the mission's senior leadership. Thanks to Hyun's timely intervention, a potential crisis was averted. Ms. Havla Matar, as the head of the Office of the Special Envoy for Syria in Damascus, Havla has regularly traveled to volatile areas outside of government control. There, she has met with armed opposition groups and beleaguered populations, sometimes amidst continuing attacks. Havla led the first international mission into the besieged city of Daraya. Her brave work made it possible for UN assistance to reach the people in Daraya after 4 years of isolation.
Reaching out, saving lives, protection of civilians in Darfur. This team conducted the emergency life-saving operation of UNAMID in rapid response to the eruption of violent inter-tribal clashes and violence in North Darfur State in 2013. They face over 100,000 newly displaced people in urgent need of protection and humanitarian assistance. The nominees successfully organized emergency evacuations, emergency transportation of humanitarian relief items, and protection of civilians.
So now, time to announce winner of 2016 UN Secretary-General's Award in category of courage. Mrs. Havla Matar. Congratulations. In this category, we do have additional honor that Secretary-General will like to bestow, so-called honorable mention. UN Mine Action Service in Gaza. Please come forward. Yes, we give, yes, not award, but so now we move on to the last category, managing change. Again, let's listen to the video.
Managing change. Honoring an individual staff member or a team for being especially adept at implementing transformational change with the goal of creating a more efficient and truly global secretariat.
The Global Banking Harmonization Project. Shobha Palakrishnan of OLA and Nuala Moreau of the Treasury managed this flagship initiative from the UN System Chief Executives Board for coordination. They demonstrated tremendous drive and highly effective negotiation strategies, as well as excellent business acumen and judgment in developing master banking agreements with numerous global banks. In more than 45 countries where banking was difficult to come by, the UN system now has reliable, cost-effective, and long-term stable banking services for its operations, thanks to this project.
Mr. Ben Majekondunmi. Ben is a senior officer in the political unit of the EOSG. He is responsible for the conceptualization and implementation of the Secretary-General's Human Rights Upfront initiative, which aims to strengthen the UN's ability to prevent serious human rights violations and to develop and protect human rights. The initiative grew out of Ben's tireless and painful work for a while on special leave without pay to draw lessons for a better response from cases where the UN had failed to prevent large-scale human rights violations.
GTEx, Improving Translation Technologies. This team of DGACM colleagues based in New York, Geneva, Vienna, and Nairobi developed innovative language technologies that dramatically improve the quality and efficiency of translation processing. As a result of the GTEx, DGACM is recognized as a global leader in the creation of cutting-edge language tools, which have elicited the interest of regional commissions and many other international organizations seeking to adopt them.
Ms. Kyoko Maki. As chief cashier at UN headquarters, Kyoko saw the opportunity Umoja presented to update an outdated payment system to a new state-of-the-art solution. Together with her Treasury colleagues, Kyoko was instrumental in developing an infrastructure which allows for central oversight and visibility of all UN bank accounts on a daily basis. The streamlined payment infrastructure on which we all depend on for our salary is a result of Kyoko's vision, perseverance, tenacity, and direction.
The Next SG project. This team, representing OPGA, NGLS, and DGACM, implemented an unprecedented mandate from the General Assembly to ensure transparency and inclusivity in the project of selecting and appointing the next UN Secretary-General. The team used creativity and innovation to modernize and promote this new approach to a traditionally private process.
Umoja ERP implementation. The Umoja team in New York spearheaded an enormous challenge, implementing a state-of-the-art enterprise resource planning system throughout the UN Secretariat. The deployment of Umoja, a journey which is still ongoing, is often called the most ambitious transformative reform initiative the UN has ever undertaken. The team in New York has worked closely with their counterparts across the organization over many years to ensure a successful implementation of ERP.
The winner of the category 2016 Secretary-General's Award for Managing Change is Kyoko Maki. In addition to Kyoko, we have a special honorable mention in this category of change, managing change. Umoja ERP implementation team. Congratulations. Please come forward. Please come forward, Umoja team. Team lead, yeah. It's a team. You have you? Come forward, yeah. Okay. Well, congratulations to all winners and also special nominations, citations. May just invite a round of applause, all these winners. Congratulations. This brings us to the end of this ceremony. Congratulations again to all those people. On behalf of Secretary-General, I'd like to really extend appreciation to all of you who participated in this process, which took several months and a very intensive course of the until reaching this stage. Now, after this, we have a very small refreshment outside this ECOSOC chamber, North Delegate Lounge. So I invite those winners and finalists to join with Secretary-General and Mrs. Ban. And thanks also of all you who participation here, and then colleagues who are not here, but also overseas. And also, just I was asked to announce a very important event going on, also part of the UN Secretariat, particularly UN Secretariat lobby. First one, UN Delegate Women's Club Food Fair is ongoing, and also Staff Recreation Council Club Fair also going in the Secretariat lobby. So I hope you will enjoy this staff day. Thank you very much.